This Wednesday walkabout is in direct response to so many inquiries about how the garden is responding after the storm, what the trees look like, what the shrubs look like, and how they're recovering. Well, if back in October and February it was kind of like living in Minnesota or something, right now it has been so unseasonably cool and damp and wet that it's almost like living in Seattle. So we're having a little bit of, I don't know, culture shock here. We're not really sure what's going on, but nevertheless, we are very grateful because these are the perfect conditions for our gardens to recover after that brutal winter. So first of all, let me start by showing you my oak tree. And you can see that there are still some dead branches up in there. Later on, there will have to be some secondary pruning on those limbs that have not budded out and have not put out any new foliage. But for right now, I'm just leaving everything as it is. You'll notice on this one stubbed trunk, I am happy to see that there's all sorts of foliage coming out from there. Now, it may not be artistically growing, but nevertheless, it's doing its purpose, and that is to provide food for the tree itself. I need to make sure that all of these trees that lost so many limbs and so much foliage put on as much foliage as they can right now to ensure the longevity of the tree itself. So it needs to generate as much food in the form of foliage as it possibly can. So any growth that comes out, I am going to let stay there because it's feeding the tree. Now, you guys know that I love to prune things, that I really liked beautifully sculpted branches where lots of architecture shows, especially my redbud trees in the back. Well, this year I'm just going to have to concede the point. I'm just going to let them do their thing, generate as much food and foliage as they possibly can, and I'm going to leave them alone. So that is my big oak tree. And then Stewart, if you could slowly pan high to my caddo maple that you will notice looks a little bit floppy on the ends. It's got some branches that look a little too long for its form, and the interior looks very empty. But again, I am just letting it put on as much foliage and as much of a canopy as it can possibly create before I do any pruning, including these branches that look a little bit too long and that look like they might need to be trimmed, and they will, but not right now. So that's my caddo maple. And then if you look over here to my Nuttall oak, you can see it's putting out all sorts of foliage. And happily, if you look at the very tippy top, you can see it's producing a new leader. And that's what it needed to do. So ultimately, some of those short and stubby branches that are coming off now will be selectively identified, and we'll prune it back into a pretty form a little bit later. Now over here, most of the shrubs are kind of coming out, and I still have not pruned any of my boxwood. Some of them are going to need some pretty drastic pruning after this wet period passes through. I don't like to prune anything when the foliage is wet. And you'll notice that even though the foreground is very, very full, back here, by where this large trunk has fallen, you'll see that there's still lots of negative space, and I am letting things put on maturity and grow. So if you see here, look at this Encore azalea, and you can see where I cut it back hard, and this one I cut back hard, and now it's generating all new growth. And as soon as it gets hot after all of this rain, these guys will really fill out and consume the space. Over here is another good example of a plant that took just categorically a huge hit this winter, and that was all of the Nellie Stevens. And mine did too, but you can see it's practically filling out. And most of all of these damaged yellow leaves have dropped, and now there's lots of new growth here. And that's great. And even over here on some of these common Burford hollies, I've pruned them some, but you can see that there's new growth coming out along the stems. And pretty soon, again, once we get some sun and some heat, that too will regenerate. And then one of the big heartaches that I shared with you all was my double file viburnum, but look here, it's really coming out. And look at this. Talk about paying attention. We have whitefly already. I guess I'm going to have to address it. Usually whitefly doesn't get here till much later in the year, but it's already here, so I guess I'm going to have to come up with some kind of organic control. Normally whitefly, towards the end of the season, I just let it go and I wait for the first freeze, but this year it's already out and it's making its presence known, so I guess I need to pay attention to it. So that's kind of what's going on in the front yard. All of the Nandina that I had to cut back hard, they are all coming back just fine. You can see here these plum yews. Look at all the new growth coming out. See here, all that new growth coming out. And by the end of the summer, this will be completely solid again and will be a beautiful evergreen. So I'm just still watching and waiting and paying attention to what's going on. I did give everything a really great feed, and I'm so glad I did because it definitely is rewarding me. Oh, one more thing before we go to the backyard. The reason that this whole area here was created was because prior to the ice storm, this trio of Foster hollies were solid all the way down to the ground. Well, then when they lost so many limbs, I pruned them up like this. But look at all of the new foliage that's starting to come off of the trunk itself. Stewart, you can show them. Look here. Look at all that new foliage that's coming off of the trunk itself. And so once all of this gets filled out, I will artfully shape them, and before you know it, these are going to regenerate really nicely. All of this rain has been very, very beneficial. So that's the front yard. Let's go to the back. I really can't believe all that whitefly. It's driving me crazy. Huh?
So I'm shooting the walking process in case I decide to speed.
Oh, okay.
So you can start whenever you want.
Okay. Okay, so now let's look at the red buds in the back. This was the one that took the biggest hit, and of course it was the one that was most prized by me. But it is starting to put out some new branches that will grow and fill in the interior, and I'll just continue to let them grow before I do any pruning on them. And as I've showed you many times, Stewart, if you just kind of look over the top of all of the hydrangeas, you can see that the Nandinas are already putting on lots of growth, and before long, by the end of the summer with all this rain, they will be all the way up, probably to the top of the fence. And likewise, this corner, which was completely bare before, and we had to prune back hard all of those Nandinas, they too probably in another couple of weeks, we'll be almost to the top of the fence and completely consume that corner again. So I won't have this big gaping hole there that in another video I wanted to fill by somehow moving my viburnum over there to fill that corner. But obviously I can't do that. So the trees are really starting to recover, and by the end of this season, I think they'll certainly not be whole, but they won't have those great big gaping voids right in the middle. And you can see in the potager that I am, as soon as that foliage dries on all of that boxwood, I'm getting ready to start my clipping. I have been so patient and it's killed me. But as soon as, if the foliage on the boxwood dries out today, then I'm gonna give it a really, really good architectural pruning. So that's kind of what's going on. Stewart, a lot of people have asked about your big tree in the front yard. So what's its status? It's going, so okay, it's like mine. It's probably starting to fill out. You did have it professionally pruned, and so now he's just waiting and seeing like the rest of us. And I think that's the cautionary tale for all of us who experience so much storm damage, is just wait and see. I do know of some people who prematurely took out or cut back crepe myrtles, really older specimens that had matured over time. They prematurely took them out, and then identical plants at their neighbors ever so slowly, but ultimately did bud out or leaf out. So that is the reward you get for being very, very patient and not jumping the gun on removing or cutting back plants really, really hard during after that ice storm. So there you go. There is a little walkabout and an update on everything that's going on in the garden, and I will see you guys this weekend.